And we can call this
All right.
meeting to order. The purpose for this meeting is to review the application for 7 Perry Street. The application indicates that the house is shingled and they want to replace it with vinyl siding. Dana, talk to us about it.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. The house has cedar shingles on it now. We're replacing that with Cedar Discoveries, which is the vinyl cedar shingle look, the mastic product. The siding itself is going to be pebblestone clay, so that's a tannish siding, and then the trim is going to be replaced with aluminum or covered in aluminum trim. And the trim is going to be I guess you'd call it a cream color. It's actually called Cameo, but it's cream for all, people that don't know what Cameo is. And that's about it. All the window casings are getting redone. Everything's going to be redone on the house. So new siding, new trim, new window casings, all the upper trim, everything.
Window casings are going to be aluminum
Yep.
in a seaside town.
Yeah.
It's everywhere. That's what we do. We encase the existing wood in aluminum, and you bend it and fabricate it to cover what's there.
It's a handsome house. I saw the pictures.
Okay, Bob wants to speak.
2 questions. The cedar shingles being taken off.
No, nope. We're going over it with foam. So it'll be a layer of foam and then the siding.
And one of the interesting characteristics of the house, it's 130 years old, I think, the house, something like that, right?
Yeah. It was,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. One of the interesting characteristics are the corner pilasters that are that have a fluting on them and a nice capital. Is there any way that those could be left on and at least on the front side of the house, on the street side of the house?
No, what we're gonna, sure. So there are some limitations when we do vinyl and aluminum trim. So one of them is like older style corners where you have the trim detail at the top. You can't really replicate that on top of a vinyl corner. So the corner we're putting on is called the colonial corner. It replicates a big corner like what's there. So it won't be a little tiny regular corner you normally see with vinyl siding houses. It's going to be a true 6-inch corner. But we won't be able to get the little detail at the top.
Is the roof remaining the same?
Yep, our contract is only for the vinyl siding.
Are there
Okay.
any other questions?
Well, I'm looking at, because I've got my iPad so I can zoom in on this house.
Yeah.
And I can see you do have an interesting feature up there. And it is fluted. But then at the bottom, that was replaced at some point. I think I'm looking at, am I looking at the front? So what you're telling us, I'll repeat this back to you, is what you're doing with vinyl siding and aluminum trim is you're basically putting those materials on top of the house that we're looking at now. So you're not taking any trim off either. You're just covering it with aluminum clad.
Question?
Unfortunately, it looks like Dana dropped out.
Oh, God.
While we're waiting for Dana to come back, is Dana a contractor?
Yes, it's
Yes.
Carefree Homes.
Carefree Homes?
Okay.
Hello?
All right, you're
Sorry
back.
about that. I'm back.
Oh, did you hear anything I said?
I'm sorry I didn't. I was talking and then I noticed the phone went, I got dropped. So I'm out like Fairhaven's, like East Fairhaven's, kind of crummy cell service out here. So
Okay, well, I'll repeat what I just said, 'cause
Oh,
I'm,
yeah.
you know, to the facade, the look of the facade. You are, but as far as the work on the overall house, what you told us was you're basically covering the house, the cedar shingles, the trim, the pilasters. You're not removing any of that. You're just going to be covering it. So you're not removing trim around the windows.
nope,
So basically, you're doing aluminum clad.
correct.
And I noticed as I zoomed in that that there was, you know, in the facade area below, I guess near the, you know, the front porch entrance. Part of that had been replaced already.
So I'm looking at the picture right now. So the front-facing house, you're saying?
Yeah, the facade. You know,
Okay.
the corner boards. Oh, no, maybe it's in the back I'm looking at, because I'm seeing a rear or a side entrance.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I can see it's on the back corner of the house.
Yeah, okay.
So it's not like you have beautiful fluted corners all around the house. It's kind of, if you look close enough, you'll see that the siding's in disrepair. You got pieces of the shingles that have kind of burnt off and ripped off. You got, you know, patches from rot replacement being done over the years, like that back corner. So you can see on that same picture, if you look up at the top
Yeah,
where the corner goes all the way up, it looks like it has a bracket,
yeah.
but it's just a couple 2x4s that hold up the little shelf that they have. So
Okay.
the house is hurting, yeah.
So what you're telling us really is you're preserving all the old fabric of the house and just covering it up.
The house will look 10 times better by the time we're done with it. Exactly. We do the best we can with aluminum. Again, we can't create that crown that's at the top of the
Yeah.
corner.
Yeah,
It's just not. But if you look at the building, a lot of it's all flat stock. Other than the corners, it's all flat stock. So when we bend the coil of the windows, because we're foaming over everything, we actually put a detail in the windows. It's called picture frame, so it gives it a little bit more, not just flat. It'll give you an extra bend, so it adds to the house. You know, we're gonna be doing soffit panels, so it won't just be a flat board on the soffits. It'll either be a beaded look or a 333 look, which will give it more detail. So there'll be things that we're doing to the house that'll upgrade it as far as the look concerned. And the corners that we put on, they're made specifically for older style houses, you know, bigger colonials, things like that. So
and
Can
the
you give us a
windows
picture
were
of that?
replaced. Sorry, Bob. The windows must have been replaced at some point, judging by these pictures.
yeah, they look like they're replacement windows.
Yeah, some of them
I
are
don't-
casements and then double hung. You have a combination.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like they're casements or rolling windows. Typically you see those in kitchens over sinks, so the back corner might be a kitchen. I don't know, to be honest with you.
Okay, Bob has a question.
Sorry, Bob.
Sure.
Well, the rake boards on the top of the house, are
Yep.
those going to be covered too?
Yep, all the visible trim on the house will be covered. So for the rake boards,
And what's the over?
anything that's rot,
What is that
yeah,
over going to look like?
so what we use for soffit panels, we'll use for the overhang. We call that a boat rake. So the soffit panel will continue on the eaves of the soffit of the house, and they'll run up the rakes as well. So it'll be the same look.
So it's going to change the look of the house quite a bit, isn't it?
It'll change the look because right now you just got either plywood or flat pine that's on the soffits. and you can't make a soffit. They don't make a soffit panel that's just flat, and you can't do it in coil because it's a bigger area. You'll just wave. You know, it'll be wavy. So, but it's typical for all the houses that you do. You do a vinyl soffit panel on the soffits in the boat rakes.
Right.
Any other questions? So I'm sitting here with my hands up against my ears, as I often do.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna make a motion that we approve the demo so this man can proceed with his, job plan.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Okay, further discussion?
yeah, just to Bob's point, it is unfortunate that, the gable facade, the facade end with the gable, because there's some interesting trim up there. And it would be a shame to lose that. But I just want that said for the record.
Yes, you're right, that the character of the house is being changed, but
Yep.
this is what the owner apparently wants to do.
Well, I mean, and that's why we're here, to sort of have this back and forth.
Yes.
Now, what about the rest of the neighborhood? Have people, like a lot of areas in Dartmouth, just opted to do this vinyl siding and aluminum trim?
I don't have pictures of the neighbors' houses, but they're all vinyl.
Yeah, I thought that's what I figured.
And it's kind of in a commercial, if I remember, it's kind of like Bliss Corner area.
It's Bliss Corner.
So
Yes.
there's like a commercial garage across the street from, so it's not, it's not like historic, whatever Dartmouth's historic street is, and it's just one house. It's it'll fit the neighborhood when it has vinyl on it.
Yeah, for better or worse.
Yeah, and our mission is to retain the character of Dartmouth that doesn't fit this particular neighborhood, but it's always a challenge. And you've come before us, Dana.
Yeah, a few
So
times.
you know the concerns that we typically have.
But he's working for an
We take great,
owner. And
yeah, we take great pride in making sure when we do vinyl siding, it looks as close to real siding as possible. We just did very old historic rectory in Fall River. Same thing, house is over 100 years old, rectory for Holy Name. Big project, custom done corners, same characteristics of this house. Some of it's economic too, because this is just a two family. So
Yeah.
to replace like for like would,
yeah,
is
expensive.
way more, I'm trying to phrase it. It's a significant amount more if you were just to replace the cedars with the cedars and not do it vinyl.
Yes, we understand that aspect of it as well.
Any other comments?
No, I'm done.
Are you ready to vote? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Fine, it passes. There being no other,
Great, thank you.
no other
So-
business on the agenda tonight, we will. Someone
Motion
make
to
the motion.
adjourn.
Thank you.
What is it, 6:50?
I second it.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye.